Hello everyone, I'm Simon Boxall in for Donna Bush with your CIG TV news brief on this Wednesday. Thanks for being here. Next week, the Cayman Islands will celebrate 50 years of having the Parliament building, which was donated on the 31st of July 1972 and officially opened by then Governor Kenneth Roy Cook. CIG Television spoke with Speaker of the House, the Honourable McKeever Bush, to hear more about the property and when the first meeting took place in the building.
Where the Assembly then, Parliament today, was built and now exists, was on an open lot that was a park, the only park we had in the island, and that was called at the time the Princess Royal Park, so named for the British Royal, the first British Royal to visit Cayman. They called the Princess Royal, who planted a tree in the park. And I don't recall that opening, but I recall 2 years later, His Royal Highness, Prince Philip, the Queen's husband, visited the park. I was then a Cub Scout, and we all came up here to meet him. The first meeting took place in this building on the 7th of August 1972. And I remember because I came to the opening and I came to that first meeting. And where they have mentioned was that on the 22nd of August, the then new Cayman Islands Constitution Order 1972 came into effect, which brought several new amendments to the legislative existence and makeup of the Assembly, and it changed the role of the administrator also to the title of governor, and it made an inclusion for the role of a speaker, but that was never put in until 1991.
The Parliament building was designed after an international architectural competition was held back in 1970. The winning firm was Rutowski, Bradford and Partners of Jamaica, a company that later relocated to the Cayman Islands and also designed the existing courts building. The former Legislative Assembly was the first poured concrete building in the Cayman Islands. Significant renovation took place inside back in 2003, and on December 4th, 2020, the Legislative Assembly became an autonomous parliament, and the building's exterior was named the House of Parliament. We invite you to join us on the news brief on Thursday to hear more about the next week's celebrations. Department of Environmental Health officials on Cayman Brac are working towards better recycling habits by residents on the sister islands and on having the trash shipped to Grand Cayman on a more consistent basis.
We are bagging or packaging recycling cans, used oil, tires to Cayman, Grand Cayman, where it will be further processed. We do not have the recycling equipment here, so we ship it to Grand Cayman, where they can do further processing. It benefits Cayman Brac by creating more space where we can now put the recyclings that we'll be picking from the road. Because when you notice, we were having overflow, we didn't have space to really store them while they wait for shipment. But now that we have emptied the containers that we have, now we have space where we can now do more recycling, pick from the road, and people can now bring their used oils because we now have space to store them until they are ready to be shipped.
Residents on the sister islands are also encouraged to separate their cans from the rest of their trash. Caymanian Marilyn Brandt has been promoted to Deputy Solicitor General in the Portfolio of Legal Affairs. This marks the first time that a Caymanian attorney has been appointed as a Deputy Solicitor General. Mrs. Brandt brings to the job 14 years of experience gleaned as a practicing public sector attorney, following being called to the Cayman Islands Bar. Head of the Civil Service, Deputy Governor, the Honourable Franz Manderson, commented on the recent appointment saying, quote, "I'm delighted that a Caymanian civil servant who is also a public sector practicing attorney has been promoted for the first time to this senior position. This is certainly a testimony to the capabilities, qualifications, and work of this hardworking and dedicated career civil servant," end quote. We also say congratulations to Mrs. Brandt. Turning now to our local weather, the forecast calls for mainly fair skies with a 20% chance of showers tonight. Seas will be slight with moderate wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. The 2-day outlook is for similar weather conditions through Friday afternoon. Taking a look at the synopsis, light to moderate easterly winds and seas are expected across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours in association with a ridge north of the Caribbean Sea. Hazy conditions are expected today as a plume of Saharan dust moves over the western Caribbean region. Remember that you can find the latest on local weather conditions online at weather.gov.ky. And that's it for today's news brief here on CIG Television. I'm Simon Boxall in for Donna Bush, inviting you to join us here again on Thursday evening. Till then, have a safe and wonderful night, everyone.